Hello, my friends. Hi, everybody. Let's see if I get the comments in. There we are. Hi, guys. Hi, my chats. Hi, Dixie Bell. Good afternoon. Good evening from Germany. Hello, my friends. So, thank you for joining me. My name is Angela. I'm the owner and creative energy from Elfen and Helden. Hi, Nina. I'm a primary retailer for Dixie Bell over here, as I just said, in Germany, near Frankfurt, which is right in the middle of Germany. So welcome. It is 9 p.m. over here. So when you join me, just let me know where you're watching from. Tell me what is the time where you are and what's the weather where you are. It is beautiful sunshine at the moment here, which is absolutely fantastic. Hi, Ginger. But it is still pretty cool, but it's going into spring now. So hi, Diane. Guys, we are still working on this beautiful piece behind me here, and the colors we've used on there is pure ocean is the main color. We have a little bit of peacock and a little bit of Dixie Belle blue in there, not very much because the customer doesn't want to have it too busy. It is busy itself, but she wants to have it distressed. So everybody who follows me knows I'm having, problems with this distressing, the finishes I'm making. So, but, she wants it, so we're going to do it. There's two ways for distressing. You can either do wet distressing or distressing with some sandpaper. Wet distressing, you basically take the paint off with a damp rag. Hi, Angie. Hello, Anja. Hi, Angelique. So that's I prefer that. Firstly, when you work inside, you don't have like the standing dust and something like that. And secondly, you have a little bit more of control. Certainly, if I would have had a bleeder where I used Boss to stop bleed through, I would definitely only do wet distressing because I don't want to go through to the bare wood, because otherwise the Boss would have been taken off again, and the chance of bleeding would be there. This is not the problem with this piece. This is not a bleeder, so I'm not worried about that. And because this is the paint finish was done last week, if I start now with wet distressing, I'm going to need a lot of elbow grease. So this is the reason I'm not doing it. I'm going for the classic way. I'm going for the sanding it down a little bit. So coffee to the side. But I've already started on one side. I'm going to bring you just a little closer so you can see what we are going for. It's not matte. It's just like the tiny areas are going to come through. And we are going to work also with brown wax just to age it a little bit. So this is hi, Saranji. I hope I pronounced that right. So Bailey, we've got the same family name. So just like a little bit, and we're going to work with some black wax. And there's like different ways of doing it, as I said. Dixie Belle has got some great products. Hi, Michelle. Has got some cheers coffee, Anja, yes. Regina, das ist ein bisschen schwierig in den Videos, aber ich mache auch Videos auf Deutsch, also einfach auf meine Seite rübergehen und der Seite folgen. Und Donnerstagabend zum Beispiel bin ich immer auf Deutsch dabei. Also ich freue mich, wenn du mir folgst. Kerstin, there she is. There is the new owner from that beautiful piece. So, Dixie Belle has got the red pads from Surf Prep. Those are, they come in 4 different grids, so to say, and they are spongy types. So they are really easy and nicely to use, especially when you go around corners and stuff like that. It's got a lot of corners to go through. So this would be the choice. And they come in a medium grip, in a fine grip, in a super fine grip, and an extra fine grip, something like that, I believe. It's like 4 different grids they have. And Dixie Belle has also got their own sanding sponge, which is this one. It's also nice and flexible. This has got about a 220 grit. So for distressing itself, Sehr gerne, Regina. For distressing itself, that's too fine. You know, I'm not gonna get through to the wood. This is what I've had planned. I will eventually, but it's going to take too much elbow grease again. So, but what you can do, especially when you work around those edges and something like that, you take yourself some sandpaper. This is, for example, a 120 grit. You know, you have to play around with it for sanding down. Usually, like 180, 240 is fine. When I sanded the other side, the paint has already gripped so much to the wood. To make my life easier, I'm going to use the 120. But you can use a higher grit also. The higher the grit, the higher the number, the higher the grit. The higher the grit, the finer the sandpaper is, and the finer the result is. So I've just cut a piece off now. I'm just wrapping it around that sponge, and I can use it that way, you know. And then I'm just going to bring it a little closer. So as I said, there's like different ways you can do that, especially when you have like over here, you know, those edges and stuff like that. Don't go mad. First try, you know, in an area. See, Instagram can see also. There we go. Just try in an area, just very gentle first. How far? Great, Saranji. Yeah. How far you want to go through. So let's see. Start up here. So this is, as I said, this is a 120, which is pretty low grit, you know. So that blue is very bright, vibrant, isn't it? So, and we want to have it just in random areas. And I'm sanding with the, I'm not going across the area. What I have the distressing, I'm gonna go with the area. Just to have a little bit more control. So I'm just going over it to reveal some of the wood underneath, so you can see it comes through there, and I'm going to do that all the way around. You can see the paint has gripped pretty well. You know, this was painted last week. Those chalk mineral paints by Dixievel, they are water-based, they are VOC free, and they stick really well, as you can see. You know, this piece hasn't been prepared at all apart from cleaning. It has been cleaned really nicely. Hi Rima, thank you for joining me. Hi Deborita. Oh, South Africa, that's great. Apart from cleaning, there's nothing been done as prep to this piece. Hi Nina. So hi Jill, you're also there, that's great. So usually, you know, or I found sometimes, you know, you use a 180 or 240 grit and you just, you know, you touch it and you can already take the paint off, which is not the case here. So the paint already is sticking really well. But you say the chalk mineral paints by Dixievel, they do have a curing time of about 30 days. They dry really quick. So if you have to do several coats, they dry really quick so you can carry on with your work. But for the full curing, which means that you can use it like in the full way you want to use it, is about 30 days. Then the paint is cured and nothing's going to happen to it anymore. So, but anyhow, I'm going to go through those areas, especially I'm going to go over those edges where you usually will have this, you know, worn off things. You can take it down even more if you want to. I mean, this is obviously, this is up to your own taste. And a little bit inside here. You may take it off a little more in some areas. So painting furniture is sport, guys. So, and this is this piece has a lot of details. You can use, you could use also one of those sanders. you know, something like that. If you really want to go really distress it, but I'm not doing that. I'm not using those things for distressing. I like to have some sort of control. You get beautiful effects with it. You know, when other people do that, I really like it. But I always feel I want to have a little bit of control. So, and especially around those edges where you would usually have like the distress, you know, from using it and touching it and stuff like that. Those are the areas where the paint would usually come off. You can see, you can take the paint off, you know, but it's really, really, now I'm going to come through to the wood. You can basically see that it's really sticking very well. Go around this. So I don't want to have it all the way the same. I want to have it different. So this is not going to be and especially when you work around those areas, it is easier if you have like a flexible type of sanding material. That's great, Anja. So you know what I'm talking about. Hi to Sadenga. So you don't have patience, Michelle? You probably use a sander, don't you? So, guys, if you have any questions, just put it in the comments. That would be absolutely fantastic. We'll see if I can answer those straight away. So, otherwise I'll come back later. So, it is easier if you distress quite shortly after you've painted, after the paint has dried, because obviously it hasn't gripped too much to your project yet. But as I wanted to do that together with you, I had to wait for a week. As I said, this shows again how much those, or how good those paints actually grip to your project. And I don't want to go wild, you know. This is just like revealing on some areas and edges the wood. So hi Robin, hi to Florida. Jill, this is the 120 grit I'm using at the moment, for example, you know. On the other side, I've even used some 80 grit because that's even easier. You can also, I mean, if you have, there you can see, here you can see nicely the difference between the grits, you know. This is the 80 grit, and the one in front, hang on, that's the 80, and this one is 180, for example, you know, that's 180, and this one is the 80. So under the color of that blue, this was like a dark brown wooden piece. So that's like normal wood, which is underneath. So on a fireplace, that's good. Yeah, Michelle, that's what I prefer also, usually, better stressing, but not after it had cured for a week. So this is too much. You can also, you know, this is like, use one of those. Those ones go usually onto one of those orbital sanders. You can distress with those also. Wrap it around that sponge, you know, and you go from there. This is an 80 grit now, so this is really rough. If I would go on a bigger area, I wouldn't do that. If I go around those corners, I can do it, but very gently, you know, because this is now really gripping. And see how quick you can. Can you see? Can you see? Yeah, I can see. You can see. This is now really gripping onto that paint. So that one, I would be very gentle because that's pretty rough. I wouldn't do that with any other paint, honestly. You just rip everything off. Dixie Belle paint, they adhere really, really well. So you can see this is one of the roughest sandpapers you can have, you know, the 80 grit. Makes my life a little bit easier at the moment because I don't have to use as much elbow grease. But still, I have to be pretty careful. I'm not taking off too much now. And as I said, if you have like a bigger area where you want to take some off, I wouldn't use such a high grit because you're about to get some. You will see the grit really, you know, pushing through your material. So with those edges, that's fine. I'm just gonna move down this edge here, just like this. And this is the sanding sponge from Dixie Belle I've got underneath, you know, because I want to have it like nice and movable, so to say. No, Yvonne, this is the normal chalk mineral paints by Dixie Belle. This is Pure Ocean. It's the main color. A little bit of this peacock and Dixie Belle blue. So those are the normal chalk mineral paints. So this is a bit of concentration. I want to go too wide. Just go around some of those edges. There we go. And this is basically up to your own taste, you know, how far you want to go or how much you want to take back. If you want to take anything back, whatever. I'm going to enhance that a little bit with the waxes in the mold. So I'm not going to go completely mad. I just want to have it like all over the place, randomly, just to see how it goes. So down here a little more. So obviously when you've done that, because there's some dust coming off, sanding dust, you will take that off with a very gentle. It's much easier to take it back. So I would usually use a lower grit for that. Higher grit, sorry, the other way around. But seldom. Dean, yeah, I'm sorry. I think this painting thing is not that much of a guy's thing. But I appreciate very much you're there. You can communicate with my sweetheart. He's on here also taking money, so he's a lad also. So same thing here, especially with this. You know, you can see it goes inside. If you have like a sanding block or something like that, it is pretty difficult to. You can do it, but it is pretty difficult to go into those all those areas, especially there also. So it helps if you have like a spongy type, either take your Dixie Belle sponge and put a higher grit on there. So, or you use the, can also use the red pads from Dixie Belle from Surf Prep, which they carry. And I would choose the medium, which works, you know, they're spongy type also. You can cut them apart if you want to have smaller pieces. And, you know, they work nicely also. Around, you can really get the medium That's the lowest grid which is in the package. So that works nicely also. I'm going to carry on with my 80 grid because I want to get finished here. I have it wrapped around my Dixie Belle sanding sponge. Even so, I'm doing it very gentle. Go down in those areas also. This is now heating process. This is for, if you're not Miss Muscle, I'm not Miss Muscle, that makes your life a little easier. But I would only do it with that low grid in areas like this, because otherwise you will really see the grit going through the paint, which is, well, I don't think it's very nice, but that's all up to your own taste, obviously. So. As I said, I don't want to go too wild. Just going to take the key off for now. Upright that. When you try it yourself, just just be gentle, unless you really want to go mad. So, and having these areas here, and I'm always going with the, not against those areas. You can do that also, but it gives it a different look. You know, I want to have it a little more. How would you say that, Michelle? I need your help. Especially those edges, I want to have a bit, you know, those areas are the ones which are going to be used a little more. Also up here from this ornament type here. To reveal a little bit of the wood. Down here. Just get some of the edges. You can start seeing really all those benefits of those beautiful ornaments on this piece. So that's pretty much it. Same thing here. See if I'm still in the Instagram, can't see. Move you over here a little bit. There's a lot of details in this piece. And those edges, I'm going into the edges just to get it let's see. This area here also. Those are those areas which are exposed to, you know, bumping into it and stuff like that, to give it this natural look of being used and old and worn. Areas down here. So also this edge here, I'm going with this edge. just to get it off in that area. Let's go. Just in some random areas. So it doesn't look the same everywhere. Okay. Down here a little bit at the bottom. Hallo Vera, hi Becky. Becky, du kannst das Replay schauen. Are they, Yvonne? What do you mean for project pieces? For finished ones or for the ones to paint? I find over here they're sometimes ridiculously expensive. So, there we go. That's about it, I think. I would like to have it. So you can see the scratch marks around, which is not that much of a problem because we're going to go over it with some wax to before I use the brown wax. Let's see if I missed some areas. I'm going to go with I want to have a little bit more control in those areas in here. I'm going to use my pet sponge. Really see how good those paints are holding up. You need that much effort to get through to the wood. That's pretty good, I think. What do you think? I think that's pretty good. So, no, to paint project pieces. Okay, well, the thing is over here they call everything an antique, you know. It's like I'm looking sometimes at a thing, you know, what are you talking about? So you really have to look to get some for a decent price. So that's about it. I don't want to have any more, I think. Here a little. So you can even do it at the end also, you know, if you feel that there's still some areas you want to have that, you can do that after you finish it also. So now you can see, you know, those areas where the wood is like coming through. This is basically the idea behind the whole thing. It is Dixie Belle, isn't it? So I'm taking the dust off now. You can use a brush or something like that, but I don't want to have any more dust. I'm going to show you what I'm picking up on the floor now in a second. I'm just using a baby wipe for now. You can use a wet rag or something like that. Just get the dust off. So still won't be that much of an issue for the look we are going for now. If there's like some of the paint dust coming into the wax, it's not that much of a problem. But even so, I want to clean that a little. That looks gorgeous. Okay. As I said, if you really want to go mad, you can use a sander, orbital sander, or whatever type of sander. It goes a lot quicker, but you don't have that much of control. So that's not the option for me. So this is just like some dust I've taken off the piece now, and now I'm going to take some of the dust. This is the reason you really should do that outside. You really should do that outside and wear a mask or something like that, you know. So do as I say, not as I do. That's what I always say. But I'm just going to off a list before I drag it around the whole area. So spin, spin, bin. Okay. Okay. It's everywhere the same, you know. They always think they're pretty clever, you know. I mean, they're not stupid. They're looking around and they see that people are looking for painting those things. But I mean, there's just like a certain amount of money this you can. Right, Nina. So this piece needs a lot of love, you know, but it's very special. So I like it. So now we have it distressed. I want to enhance like the areas a little more. I'm going to use some brown wax. So hi to wax. Is it Waco? Waco? I don't know. Thanks for joining. Connie, thanks for joining. That's great. Yeah. So when I work with dark wax, I'm preparing it first. So I'm using the best time wax in brown because I think that goes beautiful with this turquoise. And Julie, I would usually, which makes life a lot easier, I would usually paint it, let the paint dry. When the paint is dry, you can start sanding it back. You know, you could even do some bed distressing. As I wanted to finish that with you guys here, and we've been painting it last week. This was pretty hard work now to distress it back. So usually when the paint is dry, you can start, you know, straight away with distressing. It is easier then because the paint hasn't, you know, gripped too much onto the project. The chalk mineral paints by Dixie Belle, they need about 30 days to completely cure. This has been 1 week now, and you've seen how much work that was to sand it back. So I think this is a great advertising for Dixie Belle paints also, you know. Hi, Sen. Thank you for joining me. So, best and wax in brown. You can put it straight onto the paints, but thank you, Sen. Thank you. But if you want to control it, and as I said before, I'm a control freak. I would seal it first, you know, because the chalk mineral paints, they are open pores, which means anything touching the top of them when they are not sealed, they try to hold on to. So that's the reason when I work with dark waxes, you can get like a beautiful aged finish. If you're going for that, perfect. If you would like to control and maybe take some of the wax back again, I would put down either the clear wax. That's what I'm going to do. That's the clear wax. It looks white, but it is clear. Trust me. It is clear. Or you use the Easy Peasy Spray Wax, which is a great product for it also, because the Easy Peasy Spray Wax dries within 20 minutes. So this is fantastic if you want to seal it afterwards or something like that. You can, the waxes, the brown wax, the Easy Peasy Spray Wax, the clear by Dixie Belle, they are all water-based, you know, which means you can seal them. This is different to other furniture waxes from other companies. So it's a great benefit, because especially when you work on bigger areas, also with the aging with the dark waxes, you can seal it with a water-based sealer at the end, you know, which is absolutely great. So, yeah. Exactly, Robin. Seal the piece first and then come in with the brown. Beautiful afternoon. Eastern Eastern North, ist es, NC ist es North Carolina? Easy peasy. Yep. Ja, hast dich eingedeckt, Becky. Ich habe nichts mehr da. I just have like a tiny little bit left. So this is the reason also I'm using my Best Dang wax. And I've got a clean rag, a lint-free cloth, which is, I've got 2 cats, which is like big word for me. And I'm using the Bell brush from Dixie Belle. I like those because they have pretty firm bristles, and I don't even bother to clean them out afterwards. This is a new one. Well, it's not completely new. I've used it for paint before, but I'm going to use it for the brown wax now because I'm not going to clean it out. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to take the main out, you know, with the rag, and I'm going to use it the next time for the same color. So Anja, ja. Mädels, das müsst ihr unter euch ausmachen. Aber morgen kommt hoffentlich endlich eine größere Lieferung wieder rein. So I'm just dipping now my Bell brush into, as I said, this is the clear wax, you know. This is pretty white, but it's going to dry clear. I'm working it into that brush also with this wax. I'm working it into the brush, so it's not like sitting like lumps on top. I'm working it a little bit in. And the nice about it is with it being a little bit white, is you can see where you've put it. You know, so you're not going over the same area 5 or 6 times. You can see exactly where you've put it. Obviously, when you have like white or a very light color underneath, it makes it difficult, of course, but still this is different to other type of clear waxes, because there you can only see it if you have the right lighting and tilt your head to the side and stuff like that. Because this one you see pretty nicely where it is. And when it's dried, you can see it already. When it's dried, it is clear. You see white anymore. Do the same thing, load the brush. I don't want to overload it. I just want to get the paint basically sealed so that I can control the dark wax a little easier. I would usually let it sit for about 10 minutes, something like that, 10 to 20 minutes, and then take it back with a lint-free cloth. I like that, lint-free cloth. I haven't got that. Okay. Becky, du warst ja. Oh, slick stick, of course. Slick stick is difficult to get off. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. Slick stick is a bonding primer. So that's if you drop that or spill that somewhere and it dries, it does its job, you know. That's what it's supposed to do. It sticks to your project. So, gonna go here. So, that. As I said, you let it sit for about 10 to 20 minutes, something like that. Work it nicely into the paint. And then you take it basically back off with here, just like a cloth, something like that. So with this area here, as this is very, don't want to have too many blobs, I'm actually going to use an artist brush, because I only want to enhance some areas in the edges. like those low spots, so to say. There's still some of that. This is not paint. This is from the sanding. So what's coming off there now? It's still from the sanding dust. This is basically also what you call buffing, what I'm doing now. You know, I'm really working it into the paint now and taking the excess off. Which basically, when you go over it, you're not seeing any more fingerprints and stuff like that. And now it's got like a nice, smooth finish. So it is ready for the dark paint now. So this one has been used beforehand for the brown wax. So the scrubby soap on their skin. Oh well, I mean, I'm sure that works. I've done that before. I've used one of those wire sponges. I don't know what they're called. So I've got like that on the artist brush now, and I'm dabbing it off again. I don't want to have like too much on there. It's the same thing. So I'm going to go around those areas. Just get it a bit in there. Again, you know, I do want to control it. I want to have it like completely dirty. This is why I'm not going completely wild at the moment. This is up to your own taste, you know. Just want to make sure I'm hitting all the low spots in this ornament up here. And I'm going to take it back also straight away. If you let that sit too long, you know, don't put dark waxes on and then whatever, go shop, something like that. It'll start curing, you know, it'll start when it dries after about 20 minutes, something like that. It's pretty difficult to get it back off. You can soften it down now with, this is the one I'm going to dedicate now for the brown wax. So I'm working it in here now just to smooth it out a little bit, to get like a little bit of shadowing. So that's what we're going for. So now I'm going to come in with a second rag, which I'm only going to use for the dark wax, and I'm going to take it back because I only want to have it sit in those edges to age those. So there we go. And if you want to take off even more, you can also come in now again with your, I like that. I think that goes really, really nice with that. The wood is a little structured itself also. This gives it a nice effect. What's the time? We still got a couple of minutes. So I'm going to work a little further down. Thank you, Robin. You could use the big brush and go all over it and take it back. You know, this is, always depends on the look you're going for. I want to have more on those areas, those low spots. So I'm using an artist brush for it now, and I'm going to spread it out with my Bell brush by Dixie Belle. You know, this is pretty, there's so much detail here. And I just want to work all the details out, but I don't want to have too much loss of the, and the brown wax I usually like to prefer working with the black wax, but I think with the turquoise of the pure ocean, the brown wax is just gorgeous. This is just so how would you say that? Smooth, you know. This is some more details here I want to have a little bit in. Just work those areas out. So, want to hit all the low spots. So, and I always dab it off in the lid. You know, I don't want to have too much. I don't want to have lumps on here of the wax. So I'm gonna go all around those low spots, really following up the details of that piece. So I'm gonna come in with my rag in a second. Go down here. Go down this edge here also. Just put it nicely in there. This side also. And I always work in sections. When I work with colored waxes, ooh, that looks mad. Oh, you see, that looks really mad now, guys. Hi, Sue. Yeah, Yvonne, it makes life a lot easier. So now I'm going to come back in with my bell brush. Still, I'm going to clean that off a little bit. And again, I'm working the wax in. Don't want to have too much on there. I want to smooth it out. Go all around those areas. Just to shade it out. I'm going in a swirly motion and just dabbing it in there, cleaning it in between the brush. You know, it always depends what look you're going for, but this is the look I'm going for. This is the reason I'm cleaning also the brush in between, because I don't want to spread it out too much. I want to have it more in those areas I've placed it for now. So this is gonna give it now a real lovely aged look. Swirly motion to shadow it a little out. Down here. And the reason, or because I've put the clear wax underneath, you can see in a second when I come in with my rug, I can even take it pretty easy off in areas I don't want to have it. And this is only working that easy because the paint has been sealed a little with the clear wax. So there we go. Now I'm going to come in with my, you can see how nicely I can take that off now. So in all those areas I don't want to have too much. I go over it here. There's some area I want to have a little bit in. It's like those eyes of the thing or whatever that's supposed to be, to enhance those low spots. Just go in there, leave a little bit of wax in there. So I'm going to wipe that straight back. So this is giving it now some real detail, you know, or giving a detail is going to work out all those details, which is the nice thing. You could also go in it with a baby wipe, as the wax is water-based. You can take it off with a baby wipe also. If you have too much on there, you can use the Best-Nang wax in clear to erase it. If it's too much in some areas, you can see how nicely I can take that off here. So this would be always my advice. Use some clear wax, Best-Nang wax, or easy peasy before working with some dark waxes to get more control and control the look. Really control the look you're going for. So even this piece is very detailed. I can take it off pretty nicely in those areas because I want to keep the main look of the pure ocean. So, and the brown wax is just like giving it the right touch. If you have too much on here, so you feel you want to take a little more back, go over it with the clear wax, and you can take off even more. Get it a little cleaner. So this is basically what's going to be done over the whole piece. You can see the difference. You can see the difference from one to the other side. Like all the details are coming out, much more now, So, my friends, this is the last bits we're going to do to this thing. And then it will be ready to go home. I will seal it. I like to seal. Even you don't have to, but especially when it's going to a customer, I'm going to seal it to make sure all those details I've put on there are going to stay for ages, for a lifetime, so to say, and nothing's going to happen to that. So I hope you like that, my friends. I will check for some questions. Thank you, Michelle. So, can you take the clear or the white and add paint? Michelle, yes, you can. The white is obviously going to change the color. Oops. The white is obviously going to change the color. So if you put whatever peony, the pink, into the white wax, it's going to be like a rosé color. But yes, you can use, what I'm doing with my glasses, you can use the clear wax and add some of the chalk mineral paints of any color in there and make your own colored wax. So I've done that before, so that's great to great question. So my friends, thank you so much for joining me. For those who don't know me, again, my name is Angela. I'm the owner of Creative Energy from Elfen and Helden. I'm a primary retailer for Dixwell over here in Frankfurt in Germany. So thank you for having joined me. Or if you watch replay, thank you for watching replay. I hope you put in #replay so I know that you've been with us. If you have any questions, even after the live, just put it in the comments, tag me so I know that you have a question and I can find it a little easier. And then I would say I'll see you next week, probably with a new project, unless I do something inside. I don't know. Guys, you take care, you stay safe, and thank you for being with me. Thank you for having me, Dixie Belle. Oh, if you want to shop the products, go over to the Dixie Belle page and check for your local retailer. All right, I'm one over here in Germany. Take care, guys. Bye. You're welcome. Thank you, Dixie Belle. Dixie Belle has just put a link in. That's great. Thank you.